And we're recording. Hi team, happy Tuesday. I have no idea what the date is. I think we're getting close to the end of April, but the fact that I know it's Tuesday is a big deal. I really had no clue this morning, and Todd had like a packed schedule. So I'm like, honey, what time's that last call? And he's like 3. And I said, okay, well, it needs to be done by 4:30 because I totally forgot it's Tuesday. But it's Tuesday, and I think it's the 27th, right? 28th. No, I didn't get it right. Okay, it's the 28th. 28th. Happy Tuesday, and we are going to jump right in. So let me share my screen. Right here. And I'm going to move this slideshow. All right. So welcome new coaches. This is a 30-day coach list. So what I do is I just take off the people who are falling off, off the 30-day, and then I add a few more people that have joined. If there's an asterisk, that's somebody that maybe has been in the system for a little bit as a discount coach, but just jumped into coaching. And so if your coach welcomes you, I'm going to add you on here to welcome you as a brand new coach because you're taking on a new role, actively learning about the business and wanting to, learn how to coach. So that's what that asterisk means. I want to welcome all of you, whether you're on this call or maybe you're going to listen to the replay later, to the team. So we're going to go through this every single week in case there's a brand new coach, or maybe you're not a new coach, but you aren't really rolling with the business. So every single week, and if it's boring, that's okay, because even those of us who are tenured coaches, this is what you have to go back to. Every single time you look at your business and you think, how can I get that going? It really goes down to those vital behaviors. So number 1 is be proof the products work. You don't have to be proof every single product works. For example, 10 rounds came out at a time for me. Those of you who know me personally, I just announced that, we're expecting, and I don't have good first trimester. Second and third rock and roll for me, I hope this one does. But the first are just not pretty. I literally work out with a sleeve of saltines. Like that's the only way I could get a workout in. So I don't have to be proof all the products work. I have to be proof some of the products work. So you need to find a program that speaks to you in the place you're at in your life, wherever that is. Whether that's 2B mindset because you want to focus on nutrition, whether that's 10 rounds, whether that's Shakeology every single day, whatever that is that gives you that best life that you can live. So be proof that those products work. After that, you actually need to invite other people. You can't just be proof and hope that people are going to knock at your door. When someone does come to me, I just consider that luck. I consider it as, yay, I got lucky. And I still have to actually invite people. So you have to take action. Inviting happens in so many different ways, but I'm going to focus on new coaches or coaches that haven't really worked the business before. So what does that inviting look like for you? Really, the easiest place to start are your friends, coworkers, and family, and just reach out to them via text and say, let's say you're doing a 3-day refresh. Hey, I'm so excited. I'm going to do this thing called a 3-day refresh. I've never done it before, but it's 3 days of a vegan diet, and it's supposed to really help reduce bloat. And during this whole stay-at-home thing, I've just been really off, my game. I'm curious if you want to do it with me. That's it. Use your own words and talk to the people in your life as if you would talk to them every single day about any other topic. So if you were to talk to them about a concert or a restaurant, don't ask your coach for a script when it comes to the people that you're friends with, because it's going to feel awkward. So that's how you invite. And then later, as you start building your business, we can show you how to cold invite without really cold inviting, but how to invite someone that you don't know as well, right? So how to build those relationships, but start with the people you know. Personal development is the third vital behavior, okay? And these vital behaviors aren't created by me. These are created by the company. So personal development means you're working on what's up here. And that's so important because when you're inviting, when you're being proof, there's always going to be somebody in your life that makes you feel less than amazing about what you were excited about. I know I had it in my life. I was super excited. I was so pumped up. And then there were a couple people that started putting negative energy into my head. And the personal development is what's going to help you with that. So the books that I recommend you start with are either The Slight Edge or The Compound Effect. I'd say if you're going to read it, go with The Slight Edge. If you want to listen to Audible, Slight Edge is not available. Compound Effect is the one you want to go with, okay? If you've already read those, that's awesome. Ask your coach for a recommendation because there's a whole lot. And this is not a new coach thing. If you've been around for a couple years and you're not regularly diving into some type of personal development, get into it because it's so important. And it could even be a podcast. There's so many great podcasts. That's kind of been my jam the last year or so, that you can find that will help you with the day-to-day mindset. And then the fourth one is help people get results. As a coach, you need to be proof the products work. You want to invite people, but you want to help people actually get results. It's one thing to get a sale, but that's not the excitement. That's not really the celebration. The celebration is when that person who purchases sends you that text message that says, oh my gosh, I am so in love with this program. I feel so amazing. I'm finally back into my pre-baby clothes. And they say thank you. That's the goal that we all have as coaches. So when you follow those 4 items right there and you get to that last one and you help somebody get results, that's how everything else starts to build in this business. Now, your goal as a new coach, or if you've been around, is to help 3 people per month to start your business going, help 3 people per month. And that's called Success Club. So what do you help those 3 people with? The same package that you're on. So if you're drinking Shakeology and you're doing Beachbody On Demand, I want you to start with that package. It is way too much work for you and training and a waste of your time to go out there and try to learn every single package we have. When I became a coach, my coach told me, or when I actually became a client, she told me buy this package and this package. So my first 20 customers, that's all I sold. That was it. I didn't even know anything else existed. I didn't really care. I put them on the package I used. So there's 2 reasons for that. One, I knew that package, but I also knew how to coach them on that package because it's the one I used every day, right? So if you're doing 3-day refresh and 2B mindset, well, then that's the package that you should put people on is 3-day refresh and 2B mindset. If you're doing Shakeology in 10 rounds, then you should be talking to people about Shakeology in 10 rounds. When you've been a coach for a while and you've done multiple programs, and you can start thinking, oh, what should I talk to this person about? Right now, I just want you to find people who are going to join you and do the same exact thing that you're doing, all right? Super simple. And the goal is 3 people every single month. All right, so for the month of April, everybody on the left, congratulations, you have locked in Success Club for the month. So you've helped at least 3 people this month with a package. So it needs to be, there are certain packages that apply for this. And everybody on the right-hand side, you are on the board. So you've helped 1 or 2 people, and you are just 1 or 2 people away from your name being on this board over here. Now, I do want to go back real quick. So 2 of the names on the new coaches list. So Mary or Marie? Lisa, is it Mary or Marie? Oh, Lisa. Did she go by Lisa? Lisa.
Yeah,
okay.
It was by Lisa. Yeah.
Okay. I think I took it off the back office, but yeah. Lisa signed up today.
Yesterday.
Okay. So she's been a coach for 1 day, and she's already brought someone on board with the same exact package that she's doing, which I believe is 3-day refresh and 2B mindset, which is incredible. And Susie just jumped into the business, and she's already helped 2 people. So let that encourage everyone that there's no waiting game. You do not have to be working this business for very long at all to start helping people. I mean, for Lisa, it's probably been less than 24 hours and she's already brought someone on board. And the truth is, she's probably going to have a lot more fun when she does this program because now she's got a friend involved. So congratulations, ladies. All right. We have 2 more days, January, February, March, April, 2 more days of the month left. I have seen crazier stuff happen. So if your name's not on the board and you want to get there, I truly have seen Success Club happen in 24 hours. So get to it and get your name up on this board. Don't throw the month away and say, oh, I'll just work for next month. Don't do that. You absolutely can do it for the month of April. I shared this last week, but I want to share it again because we've got some new faces and this is all really important stuff. So Bog Boots just launched. If you've already had a chance to play with it, there have been some tech glitches, which quite honestly, I sort of expected with such a huge launch and kind of an overhaul of our system. Stay positive, believe in our company. They are working on it diligently and it will be cleaned up, any of the glitches. Most likely, I'm not even reporting glitches because all the stuff I'm seeing, it's all on the list and I know they're working on it. So I don't want to add to the chaos, but I know they're working around the clock on it. Products that are coming soon. So the one that's closest on the board is May 18th, and that's right around the corner, is Mixed Berry Energized. So now would be a great time to start talking about Energized, and then we can introduce that there's a new flavor coming out as we get a little bit closer, okay? And then the next launches are gonna be June and July with a seasonal flavor of Shakeology, salted caramel, Beachbody Bevy, which is a weight loss enhancing tea. And then we've got 2 back-to-back awesome programs coming this summer too. So get excited, especially if you're new or you're just jumping back in. New products it's fun to launch new products. Like I believe it just gives you excitement for the business. So this is a really good time to make sure that you're sharing so that when these products come out, you're not just starting to share for the new products. All right, so what's happening that you should know about? So I run groups and your coach probably runs different groups, but this group specifically, these groups are team-wide. So I'm running this one specifically with Lisa Koch, who's on the team. We're gonna co-run it. Anybody in our downline is open to join us, okay? So you can join the group and you can also invite anyone you like who makes the correct purchase to join us. May 11th is a To Be Mindset prep group, and it's just gonna kick off. We're gonna help people learn the program. May 15th, 16th, 17th, we're doing a 3-day refresh. Now, if some people just wanna do the refresh portion of this, that's totally fine. And then May 18th, we're officially going to start tracking and following To Be Mindset for 30 days. And to join the big group, you have to have access to Be Mindset. It doesn't matter which version, but you need to have To Be Mindset, you need to be able to watch all the videos and all that to join. And if you add any clients, they need to have it as well, okay? The 3-day refresh is optional. That's sort of separate, whoever wants to do that one. We've been sort of talking about it as a package because I think it will go really well together. So we've really been sharing that we recommend you start the 3-day refresh and roll right into the 2B. So I'd start there, and if someone doesn't want to do the refresh, that's totally fine. Any questions on that? You guys can type them too if you have any, but anyone on the team is totally welcome to join. I will tell you guys, I posted on a whim and said, hey, who wants, I saw my old Facebook actually posts come up from 2 years ago and last year, and it's the anniversary of To Be Mindset launching. And I saw those posts and I thought, hey, maybe we should do a nutrition focus. And I just kind of did I'm curious who'd be interested. And it's crazy how many people are interested in nutrition focus right now. And it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, the struggle is not, at least I know, the struggle really is the pantry and the fridge and being around them all day long. And you're not alone if you feel that. So even Lisa messaged me earlier and she's having a great month. Invite to this group. I highly recommend you do a post like that and say who wants to join. You know, you can go look at my page or Lisa's for ideas. And I think Chelsea did a really good one today too for the group. So I've got some questions in the chat. Yes, Lisa said, hop on the info page, invite anyone. Please, please, please. We're over 100 people on that page right now. It's crazy. It's totally blown up. It's amazing. All right. So what should you be doing now? I shared this last week. I'm going to share it again because it's so exciting. We have had in the past month 440,000 new subscribers to BOD. That record is now broken. It's actually over like 850,000 workouts streamed in one day. One day. It's mind-blowing to me. 40,000 challenge packs were sold. This was like between April 1 and April 10 or 12 or something. It was ridiculous already. I can't wait to see the official April number when the month closes. We're averaging 1,000 new coaches per day in the company. 18 million workouts streamed, that was in the prior month. And in 1 week, there were 92 new diamonds. And I did hear there was over 100 the next week, but I don't know the exact number. And the average is closer to 45. So if you're wondering if now is a good time to be working this business, stop wondering. Just jump into it. There's no wonder anymore, okay? It is so awesome to be a part of this. All right, so we're gonna jump in and talk about the topic for today. And this is a topic that someone spoke to me, and a coach I heard speak about a while back, and it really stuck with me. And I loved the analogy, and I want to share this with all of you. It's not so much a training, but a mental state. And let's dive in. We're going to talk about exactly what this means. So there are different times in your life and different seasons in this business. There are going to be times where life is going to challenge you. And there's going to be times where life is pretty normal and routine and maybe even a little boring and it's not challenging you. When you're in that place where life isn't challenging you. So, and right now, we're all in a different place. Some of you might be thriving with what's going on. And you're thinking, I'm not really feeling challenged. This is actually really cool. I kind of like it. I have plenty of time to focus on this business. So you're not feeling challenged. Well, then that's the time you need to challenge yourself. That's the time that you need to set some very big, scary goals and challenge yourself. And if you're not feeling challenged from your business or from your goals, that's where you need to step it up, because life isn't challenging you. So it's going to start feeling boring. The business is going to feel boring. The vital behaviors will start to feel boring. The inviting will feel boring. So during that time in your life, and if you're there right now, where things are feeling pretty good, I'm good, I'm in a cool place, I don't feel challenged, challenge yourself. And if you don't have that fire lit beneath you to challenge yourself, you need to up your PD game. You need to up your personal development game and find something that's going to light that fire underneath you, okay? Now, the real topic about today is the other side of that coin. When life is challenging you, when you are feeling challenged by things outside of your business, outside of your goals, maybe things, most likely things that you're not excited about, right? So you're being challenged by things that goals excite you. You're being challenged by things that are not exciting. They might feel painful. That's what I really want to talk about, because we're all going to have those moments in our life. Now, it's important to know that what challenges me is different than what might challenge you. And you can't compare to others. You can't say, well, I'm going through this thing and I'm handling it horribly and I don't feel well, but she went through it and she did so well. You cannot compare, because every one of us is challenged by different things. And there are certain things that might not affect you much and other things that do. And I'm going to get really personal and share with you exactly those experiences in my life and how different they were. So more than once in my life, I've experienced miscarriages. When I'm experiencing that, it's not a one-day thing, that entire occurrence that happens, however long it takes, I am actually super motivated. Oh, I got someone waiting. I'm super motivated to work my business, actually, because I feel like it's something I can control. And that part of my life, the personal part, is something I cannot control. And so during that hardship, I actually am motivated to work my business. I am motivated to have big, scary goals. It actually does not stop me from wanting to run in this business. Now, on the flip side, this is now my second pregnancy. I do not do well in the first trimester. People talk a lot about the baby blues. I was literally Googling like the first trimester blues. If you saw on our team, I wasn't running team calls. It was a drag to work this business. I wasn't enjoying it. I'm just not a happy person. And it's not even just how I feel physically, even mentally. First trimester was summer, I went to a therapist because I thought, what is wrong? I've never felt this way before. This pregnancy, I thought, okay, I've been down this road. I know once I get past the first trimester, I'll be me again, but I was just not a happy person, and working this business did not feel good to me. So true story, I was struggling from weeks maybe 7 to 13 there, wanting to show up for myself, wanting to show up for all of you, okay? When there's plenty of people who I watch every day in our business crush it, right? But I can't compare. There are hard things in my life that I can handle really well, and there are hard things in my life that I don't. So I want you to never compare. but I want to teach you what to do in those moments so your business doesn't crumble, okay? So the most important thing is when life is not challenging you, you challenge yourself, okay? That's important because when you do get to the part of life that does challenge you, you've already built a strong foundation, okay? So for me, because during those times in life where I wasn't feeling challenged, I stepped up and challenged myself. When life did challenge me, it didn't kill my business to take it down a tiny notch, okay? That's the first thing that's really important. So when you're not being challenged, it's important that you show up and you challenge yourself, because life will challenge all of us. Those days are there. They are always going to come. It's an ebb and flow. It's a season, and you want to be prepared for them, okay? So you want to have a strong business going into them. Our business is like a pot of boiling water, okay? So those of you who are new coaches, you're just barely getting that pot onto the stove. You're starting to slowly crank it up, and it's a lot of work getting that water from cold or room temperature all the way up to hot. It takes a lot of energy, right? That fire, that energy, it takes a lot of work. So when you're first starting your business, it will not be easy, and that's the part where you really have to put the time and the effort in. Think about it. You're using the most flame, right, to get that water up to boiling. It's the most energy is being used. Once that pot gets up to boiling, you can keep it on a simmer and you don't have to use as much energy, right? You can even take it down a notch and that water will keep boiling, and that's your business, right? Now, a stove has back burners, and I hear a lot of times in this business, I'm going to put, when life happens, I'm going to put my business on the back burner. Guys, how many of your back burners don't burn? They still burn, right? They still burn. So for me, during that first trimester where I was not feeling good and I moved that pot to the back burner, I will tell you right now I did not take that pot off the stove, okay? I moved it to the back burner where it was still, thank you, where it still was burning, it was still simmering. I didn't want my business to fall apart. I still showed up and I never missed Success Club the entire time. So as much as I feel like I didn't show up, I was watching that pot of water simmer, okay? Even though it was in the back burner. Back burner does not mean I took it off the stove. Now it's really important to understand that for a reason. When you take the water off the stove, what happens? What happens to the water? It's gonna cool down, right? You're gonna get room temperature water eventually. What do you have to do to take room temperature water back to boiling? You gotta start all over again. You gotta crank it up all the way and you gotta start all over again. So for me, the last 2 weeks have been feeling pretty good. I'm starting to finally feel like me again. And I'm ready to take that pot that's on simmer on the back burner and move it up to the front again. Guess what happened, guys? My audience was there for me. It didn't fall apart. My team, all of you, you still believe in me. You didn't ditch me or quit because you knew I was still simmering even though I wasn't going as fast as usual, right? It wasn't boiling as fast. I kept it on simmer, and then when I moved it back up, taking it from simmer to boil is pretty easy to do. Had I taken that pot off the stove and moved it to room temperature, I would be rebuilding this team. Or for you, you'd be rebuilding your business. Now, if you ever find yourself in that spot, I want you to know coaches have done that and rebuilt this business, but it's a lot of work. And you don't want to find yourself there if you can be ahead of it. It's a lot of work to do that. It's hard enough to start the first time, but to start over completely, I don't ever want to see myself in that position. So I want you to think about that. When life challenges you, how can you keep that water simmering? Okay, so let's actually talk specifics. What can you do when life is challenging you? You need to think about what you can do of the vital behaviors. So for me, I shared that every single one of my workouts, I had a sleeve of saltines, and that's not a joke. Like I did a couple Peloton and it has the 2 little spots for your water bottle, and I had a water bottle and saltines. And then I was doing my beach body workouts and I'd stop and have a saltine. I wasn't ready to share my pregnancy, so posting workout videos was pretty difficult to do when I wasn't feeling well, right? And so I just didn't post the workout videos. You guys, I can't lie about that. You guys watch my stories, right? I wasn't posting my workout videos. What was I doing? I was still posting content, a lot of personal content. A lot of my content was stuff of summer. But what did that give me the opportunity to do? It gave me people to talk to. I never stopped chatting with people in Instagram stories, on my posts. I was posting food whenever I could, although I'll be honest, even food was sometimes challenging, but I was still posting content so I could talk to people. For me in my business, I looked at the things, what can I do that will still move my business? And that was talking to people. Talking to people still gave me people that would eventually purchase, and I could hit Success Club, people that still became my customers. Up until, what was it, Renee? 3 weeks ago, I was still running a challenge group. And then thank God Renee stepped in and took over 10 rounds. Bless you. Because that was when I was like, I need a break. But I still ran a challenge group every single week up until that point. So those were the things on the list. Your list is going to look different than mine. Okay. So when you're in that place in life where it challenges you, I want you to make that list of things. What can I do to keep my business simmering? And if I have to take something off the list, I know I will be adding that back on as soon as I'm able, okay? That's the analogy that stuck with me from like 3 years ago about the pot boiling, and I always think about that. When I have coaches come to me and say, I'm gonna put this on the back burner, that's the first thing I think of is, or I say, what does that back burner mean to you? Because a lot of times what it really means is I'm no longer gonna focus on it. And that's a dangerous place for your business. So keep that water simmering, assuming you've already gotten it up to a boil. If you haven't, get that water up to a boil and then keep it on simmering forever. Keep it on simmering. Let it keep going. Once you get it there, it doesn't feel as bad to completely bring it back up to hot when you need it. It doesn't feel as hard. In fact, it feels really good. Like the last couple weeks for me, it's exciting. I love it because it hasn't been as painful as if I had taken it off completely. I know, Natasha, I totally agree. It is very good to have someone run challenge groups when it gets crazy. She said, I'm the queen of simmer. I love it. I'd love to hear from you, questions, comments, whatever, but I'm all done with my notes. I wanted to share this because I think every single person on this team is there or will be there one day. And it's an up and down. You might enter that place in your life numerous times. And I don't ever want someone to let go of something so incredible like this business. I mean, I look at what's happening right now and I think, gosh, it's a shame for anyone who quit coaching to not be a part of this today, right? It's just so incredible how many people need our help today.
Z, I just want to say, I had no idea that you were not like boiling.
That's amazing. Thank you. I felt so guilty every day.
I mean, and I watch all your stories and everything, and I had no idea you were like on simmer or pulling back. I mean, other than not having the team call, I mean, you did not skip a beat. So
thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, and that's a really good message that we notice a lot more than other people might, because we're our toughest critic, right? But I appreciate that. I felt like, oh my gosh, everybody probably knows something's going on.
no.
Yay. Thank you for that. Renee, okay, you're jumping into something else, but I think that's really important because I'm sure you're not the only person that feels like that. So let's talk about this. I feel like I'm putting a lot of content out, but I'm not getting anything. I feel like my outreach has gone cold and it's frustrating. So how many people are you talking to, would you say, on average?
So between like posts and things like that, because I'm taking what we talked about last week and like the people who are like commenting on that or even just liking it, I'm just like starting the conversation, and it just seems like I'm engaging with like 10, 15 different people weekly, and
I'm gonna
great.
pull up content real quick while you're talking, okay?
Yeah, it's amazing and it's a lot of fun, and then it's like they're like, oh well, I have this going on already, and I'm like, hey, like, the conversation usually always gets to like fitness and health and nutrition and stuff like that, and like I'm almost at the point to where I'm now like looking to my girls and being like, okay, like share my stuff out of like, what do you love about Beachbody? Because like then because I don't know, I feel like my friends are inundated. Like my friends list is just inundated with stuff. And like, and yesterday I posted a picture of when I was like freaking 13 years old, and like that blew up. And it's like, okay, so how do I turn those 300 plus likes into like conversation starters? And so like tomorrow my plan is to take all of those likes and anybody that I have not yet talked to, engage in a conversation and start.
Wow, you've got 310 likes on that and 70 comments. So that's
it's weird, but yeah.
So no, it's not. It's actually like textbook, right? I mean, now we're going to jump into a social media like mini training right now. Those of you who don't need this, you're welcome to hop off. Those of you who do, feel free to stay on. Okay. But we're going to segue into, because I think are we good with the topic for today? Everyone feels good about it? Okay. If you want to stay on, I'd love to have you, but let's talk social media. So Renee, when you do a post like that, the next post after, like the next day, it would be really good to do a transformation post because those people are watching you. Now, when it comes to your transformation posts, I want you to start thinking storytelling, which is totally your jam. Like that's your thing. You're a theater, you know, that's your thing. So I want you to start telling stories, and don't give like don't do too many names of products or stuff like that. Just tell a story about who you were. Talk real and raw and deep from the inside of who that person was prior to and what your life looks like today. But that's an opportunity. So even like for me, when I do a summer post, like a child, you guys know how it is. You do a post about your kid, right? You get more likes than you do a post about Beachbody and it's like crickets. So I try to time those a little bit better. So I do the one that gets the engagement and then I do the next one. Even if the next one doesn't get, you're not going to get 70 comments on your Beachbody post because now people know what you're up to. It's not your first post. But you might still get 300 eyes on it. Okay. So that's one thing okay. Can I be totally like blunt and I'm going to give it to you real? Okay. Don't tag me in your posts anymore. Don't tag anybody else. Okay. Because all you're doing is we have a lot of the same audience, first of all. Okay. So you're killing yourself. Don't tag me anymore. Just stick to you, or you can tag a coach on your team if you're trying to help them out, but don't tag me. Are you adding mutual friends?
Of other people that don't have like outside of the groups. Like I'm looking for people who are not.
Yeah. Like not us, none of us.
I'm looking for people who are not already in my circle. And and actually like, I'm going to take my friend up on this. He's a powerhouse actor from LA. And he was like, oh my God, like, you know, and I'm trying to get him in. Like, it's unfortunate because like he's out of work right now. So finances for him are like rough, but I'm like, oh my God, like share my post with your friends because I would love to personal train them. I would love to do these things. Like, this is the thing. And like, because like both him and my hairdresser are like my biggest fans right now. And so I'm like, oh my God, like just share my post. Can you just share my content and like tell them to get in touch with me?
Share, and like, absolutely. I mean, if you can have someone that's not a coach do that, that's great, you know, but I still think you need to build your audience. So adding mutual friends that are not part of our network, it doesn't matter if me and you have the same mutual friends. If it's someone that me and you have, still add them, just not someone from our team because they're already a coach. That's not going to help you. So, and you don't want to add like Lisa's mutual friends, but you need to add, you need to start adding about 10 a day. Okay.
It's been a little sketch lately. And I'm not even going to lie. Like I accepted a friend request from somebody and he turned into like this huge creeper status. And it was like, oh, I knew that we were supposed to be friends. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like we're unfriending and blocking.
Every 50 or so, I've got to delete one. Just know that, right? Like you have to go into this knowing that, but you can't let that stop you from growing because how many friends do you have roughly on Facebook right now?
Over 2,000.
Oh, you've got a lot. Okay. That's actually a lot. I started out with 200, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's part of it. 2, the people that you want to join you, how often do you go to their page and give love?
Lots.
You're doing a lot of that.
Time right now. I mean, because I'm doing the balance of scroll and everything else. But because I started this weird Shakespeare group that now has spawned 4 different sister groups and all these different things of like everybody's reading Shakespeare on Zoom right now, and like we have that kind of blew up, and so I'm spending approximately 9 hours a day screen timing between my students and answering phones and like dealing with distance learning and like stuff like that. My screen time is astronomical right now. And I'm not letting that usually like is something that bothers me, but I'm not letting it bother me because this is the way my life is now living. Like, and I just got a message from my principal saying in August, I'm probably solely online teaching. And so yeah. And so like my big like world shift right now is like my entire life is like
online.
It's transcribing. And so, a friend of mine suggested it at the beginning of this, and at the beginning of like our stay in place, and she was like, give 2 hours to a project. Like if you just, and stop yourself, like set a timer.
Right. I love working against a timer.
Right. And I've even cut that down, unless it's with my students, I've cut it down to an hour. And, and so that's where like my power hour comes in on that.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you 2 more questions though. What tracker are you using for Beachbody?
Right now I'm just using my apps because I don't have.
What app are you using?
I just use like my Messenger and my.
Okay. So that's the first thing I want you to do. You're busy. You've got a lot going on. You've got a lot of moving parts. And this is for anybody else listening on this team who's saying, hey, I'm struggling, or I'm not hitting, or I'm talking to people. You got to download the business activity tracker tonight and start tracking what you're doing, because you don't have time to waste. Okay. And I think it's going to give you a little bit more focus on where you're spending your effort. Okay. So get the business activity tracker, use it every single day. And you don't need to be spending 2 hours. I think 1 hour a day on that is fine. And then 2, I want you to send me the conversations that go to Beachbody that you're having with people. Start sending me a couple screenshots of those. Let's dive in and see what those look like. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Send me some screenshots. And then business activity tracker, come back to me after a week of using it every single day. Okay. I just want to see if there's a difference if your activity is super focused. And then let's see, we do have a couple. Renee said, and Natasha said, I rarely friend men. I'm the same way, honestly. She said, I send them the most expensive package when they do slide in, and they usually leave me alone. I do that to see if they're serious about fitness or just trying to use my love of fitness to date me. I don't send men because I've had, the chances that you get a creepo, I feel like, unfortunately, when they want to work with women it's sad because I don't want to say the entire gender, but I've had a couple and it's just like, I don't want to deal with it. I just want to build my business and help people who want help. And I've also had a couple male clients that are amazing, but usually they come to me through a friend, right? It's not like some random, so that, I won't send a friend request to a stranger male. I personally, that's just, my thing. But Renee, if you can do those 2 things, business activity tracker every day for a week, and then start sending me some screenshots of where the combo goes to Beachbody, we will figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Which business tracker do you use? Like, so
I use Go. I use an online system, but if you're going to use a business tracker, you're going to use the Beachbody one. So go to your coach office and go to Grow My Business, and it should be under there. Check there first. I think we might have it in our files section on TeamInspired too.
Okay.
So if you don't see it, check there. I'm almost positive we've got it there.
It's also under training. There's a great video on how to use stuff. So you can pull it up there too. Thank you.
So print that. If you're a new coach, that's what you should be using. Go back to that, because you need to track, or you're going to start feeling really frustrated because you feel like you're putting all this out there and it's not happening. But I can tell you guys right now, if I don't track, my business suffers. Right? It really does. And last week on the call, I think I said everyone at Success Club, and I asked them to speak, and it was like every single person that spoke recognized that they're using a tracker. So get yourself on a tracker. All right. Thank you for that, Renee, because I think it probably helped a few other people on the team. It's so good to see all your faces. I know we lost some. I should have snapped Did anyone snap a picture? All right, that's okay. We'll take one right now. Ready, set, go. Thank you, ladies. Have a great night. Stay safe, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow. It's next Tuesday. Bye.